And I'm joined in studio now by two executives from XsunX Incorporated, stock symbols XSNX. First to my immediate left is Mr. Joe Grimes. He's the Chief Operating Officer of the company. Joe, good to see you again.
Good to see you.
And of course, Tom Djokovic is the CEO of the company. And Tom, always a pleasure having you here.
It's great to be back again, Don.
Well, we had you guys on last week. We were really short on time, so I wanted you to come back. And, we've got a little bit more time to play with this week. Why don't you give us a brief update of what XsunX is doing right now?
Well, sure, Don. What we're doing is we're working in the solar space. There's a technology, a thin film technology called CIGS, which is a couple of different metals that are combined together to make a solar absorber, something that captures sunlight, turns it into electricity. It's copper, indium, gallium, diselenide. It's been around for a number of years, but we're applying it in a whole new different way to use it. We're making individual solar cells that we hope will directly compete with silicon, and we're developing this manufacturing system, and we intend to license it. So we're not a manufacturer, but we're more of a technology development company, and we license it and make some money on royalties associated with production revenues through the licensing.
What I like about royalty companies is you're basically in the business of cashing checks at some point.
That's the goal.
Now, last week you were here, you had some exciting news. You'd received test results, I want to make sure I get this right, confirming over 16% conversion efficiency of your CIGS solar technology. Now, that is significant.
Oh, yes, absolutely, Don, absolutely. See, the goal here is that there's two primary sectors of technology. There's what's called silicon, which essentially dominates the market, 75% control, and it's a very high conversion efficiency, very energy dense. It converts more sunlight and electricity than other technologies such as thin films. CIGS is a thin film, but it happens to be the only thin film that can really compete with silicon. They both have, interestingly, both silicon and CIGS have an upper theoretical conversion efficiency limit of approaching 30%, somewhere between 29 and 30%. So they can stand toe-to-toe with each other. The difference is, Don, is that CIGS, the thin film, is much less expensive to produce. So we've come up with a concept here and a process we developed that allows you to make solar cells that match silicon size, but at a much lower cost point. And what this does is this proves our technology roadmap. This 16% proves that our process system can compete with silicon, and that's very, very important.
So basically what you're telling me is that your goal as a company is to be the first manufacturer of a technology that competes with silicon. In other words, your idea is to make silicon the dinosaur of this new industry.
Absolutely, absolutely. The goal is, and like I said, since CIGS is the only real thin film that can compete toe-to-toe, that's what's important here. It's very significant. We intend to go ahead and license this material, this process, and allow manufacturers to make an alternative to the use of silicon, lower their input costs or production costs across the board. And what we're seeing from the market right now as a result of these announcements and the progress we're making is a significant uptick in interest associated with our technology.
Now, Joe, I know that your main focus with the company is getting manufacturers interested in the technology. Now, what is the real magic word here? Is it the 16% efficiency, or is it the lower costs?
In a lot of respects, it's both, but it's more, because our ability to achieve the 16.3% shows and validates our technology plan. And the benefits of those higher conversion efficiencies really ripples through the entire supply chain. Let me give you an example. So on the surface, it appears like a 2 or 3% increase in conversion efficiency isn't really that significant, right? 2 or 3%. But its value is that the same equipment now can produce 20% more watts. Wow. Right? Which means that the cost of those watts significantly reduce, right? Maybe 20% in a like fashion. And what that allows our customers to do is then offer a better product at a lower price, which has a higher conversion efficiency that they can charge more for. So that improves their margins. So everyone along our supply chain benefits. The value to the end customer is that they receive a better product that harvests more wattage at a lower cost.
Well, that's basically, when we talk about alternative energy, we're really, the holy grail is the lowest cost per wattage possible. So now that you're achieving this, there must be this renewed level of interest from potential customers that you're talking to.
You know, it's surprised us how much more interest there is. So just this week alone, we've are starting to work with 4 new customers, both in the United States and in Europe and in Korea. What we found is that there's a tremendous interest in these higher conversion efficiencies for module manufacturers who've already has the module assembly process in place. And even more surprising and very, very positive from our value proposition is that we've got 2 or 3 existing customers who now are setting up site visits next month to come in and to talk even more in those license agreements.
That is outstanding. XsunX, XSNX is their stock symbol. Guys, every time you come in here, there's more progress to be talking about. The efficiency ratings, fantastic. Thanks for bringing us a great update.
Thank you
Thanks,
so much.
Tom. Great to be here.